I mean, if this box doesn't make you want to play this game, I don't know what will. Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we are taking a look at Command of Nature. This is from Unstable Games, so the company that brought us Unstable Unicorns, Here to Slay, Casting Shadows. This is their newest game. This is a deck builder that's got an interesting kind of battle combat mechanic that we'll talk about when we get there. But this, of course, is a Kickstarter exclusive box cover, whatever you want to call it here. Not a very big game. Their games tend to not be. And we have a few extras here. This isn't an all-in or anything like that. They had little chibi miniatures pre-painted that you could purchase for this game, which seemed a little ridiculous to me. But this is the core box with Kickstarter exclusives. We have some sleeves. We have the playmat just for the market area to help keep that organized, and then some wooden tokens. So let's make some space here and take a look at the core box to start off with. So inside we have the rule book, pretty straightforward. Some nice artwork in there, some nice big hefty examples. Then we have a whole lot of tokens that we're not going to need. Cardboard tokens for damage, for additional actions, for shields, all sorts of stuff. All right. Now in this box there's 4 factions. They are elements of nature. And then they have an expansion that's 2 additional ones. I decided not to pick up the that extra expansion just until I could see whether or not that this game was worth having all that extra for. But each of the main factions has one of these really nice cardboard boards here that you're going to play. Down in front of you, you're going to have your formation of cards, say off to the right or something like that, or maybe off to the left. A place to store coins, which you'll use to buy cards. This is the 4 basic actions you can take on your turn. So you can see you can summon an elemental from your hand, play a command card from your hand, swap the positions of 2 elementals in your formation. So there are, positions, rows, and everything that. So it's going to be important where things are, and then draw a card from your deck. I believe you get 4 actions on your turn, and they can be any one of these. Each of these costs a single action to use up. As you progress, as your sage increases in level, though, you're going to be unlocking cards that you lay down here on your board, which will then unlock additional actions that you can take while unlocking champions, per se. So there's Cedar the Twig Sage. We have Perella the Leaf Sage. We have Torrent the Droplet Sage. And we have Gravel the Pebble Sage. So this is going to be the same on all the boards, but these are going to be different. And then the cards you're placing over top of them will be different. Okay. So you can see what I'm hoping is a very nicely done vac tray inside. This game is almost entirely cards, but we do have some coins for you to keep track of, some metal coins here. Let's just take a look at these real quick. There's not very many, but essentially you can save coins from turn to turn, but I guess they have discovered that you're never going to be holding but so many, because this is a deck builder, so you are going to be purchasing cards using these coins. No point in hoarding them. And those are in there. Okay, so these also have a 1 and a 3 side. They're pretty small, but they are, they do have some weight to them, and so there you go. I guess they will fit in one of these rows eventually, but we're just going to put them off to the side for right now. Then we have all of our cards, and we are good to go. So you'll notice that there are some sleeves on here, and I wouldn't necessarily throw these away right now. So you have your command market deck, but then you have these pre-packaged for whatever sage you're playing as. So these are going to be your starter cards depending on the deck that you choose. And then, so your command card market deck and your elemental card market deck. So there's going to be technically 2 rows in the market. So you may want to hold on to these. They're nicely labeled, keeping everything together. So let's just take a look at our, who do we want to start with? Since Twiggy came out first, we'll take a look at Twiggy. So I'm going to keep this one intact. Probably don't need this one, but we're going to try and get it off of here if we can. This one's a lot tighter, so I am thinking we just don't worry about it, but here we go. We're starting to get them now, just in case. Again, I feel like this one is meant to be saved. All right. So just a breakdown of what you're seeing here on the card, and this is your sage. So this is the guy you have to protect. If this guy is defeated, you lose the game. So he's got 12 health. That's pretty good. And he's going to start in the back row, pretty well protected. But anytime you see this sun, that means you take this action at the beginning of your turn. Phase 1, sunshine phase, similar to, or daybreak phase, I can't remember what it's called, but makes me feel root. These Roman numerals here mean that this character has to be in one of these 3 rows of your formation, either in the front, middle, or in the back, to take use of this. So obviously, no matter where he is, he's going to earn you 3 gold, which you can then use to purchase cards at the beginning of your turn. Let's look at somebody else here. So then we have Quill Thornback here. He has an action that triggers, it's a when action. So the card here says, when another twig elemental in your formation ranged attacks, add 1 boost to this elemental. So if you have another twig elemental, which they're all going to be twig to start with, but they may not be down the road, he's going to boost friends of his, but he's got to be in the front. Obviously, if you're in the front, that's where you're going to be using the melee, but someone behind him could be throwing range, and he's going to add a boost to that. Let's see if we can't find another one here. Here's an Acorn Squire. So if the Acorn Squire is in the first or second row, when this elemental attacks, collects gold equal to its strength. So boom, and that's when you would gather up your coins and save them. So you always do the kind of your actions and your attacking and your drawing cards and your playing cards as phase 2 after the daybreak phase, phase 1, and then you go into the purchasing phase, which is where you have your 2 various markets here. Your markets contains more elemental cards, so more warriors to put out and see. These are like the basic guys that are going to be out there. They have no special stats. Pretty much cannon fodder. Then you have command cards like this that allow you to take actions, use your actual people to attack with. So here is, for example, a ranged attack. It has to be from either the first row or the second row, and this is deal damage equal to the attacking elemental strength to an elemental 2 rows away in your opponent's formation. So if you are in row 2, you attack the front row of their formation. But if you're in row 1, you actually shoot over row 1 and into row 2. You don't get to choose. It has to go 2 away. And here's a close strike. Obviously, it's pretty much the same thing. Row 1 to row 1. Another close strike. And then we've got some other stuff here that are unique. Again, the stars for starting factions here, unique to your faction. Then I'm just going to show off one of these here. As you're purchasing cards, all of the cards in the market are going to have a cost. So that's how you can differentiate a starter card versus a market card. So this one would cost you 1 coin to purchase. There's only ever going to be 3 cards out at a time to purchase 3 command cards and 3 elemental warrior cards. If, however, you are short on cash, you haven't accumulated enough from, say, your Sage and other actions like, where was it? This guy here, the Acorn Squire. You can actually sell cards in your hand, which culls them from the game. So this is an interesting mechanic. You can choose to cull a card at any point simply by selling it to gain gold for it, making it quite easy to thin out your deck. But don't be so fast to thin out your deck too quickly. But if you sell a starter card, it's just 1 coin, and any other market card is half of its purchase value rounded up. As you're fighting in these formations here, anytime one of your elemental warriors is defeated, they go away. They don't go into your discard pile. You don't get them back. So for the most part, what you're going to be reshuffling around and getting back are your command cards. Your warriors are going to go out into the formation. They're going to stay there, and if they are defeated, they are defeated. So that's just an interesting note there. All right, so let's take a look at this. The command cards are okay. The artwork is okay. They are functional, but this is where the game really shines in their artwork of the elementals here. So we're just going to shuffle through some of these just to simply get some of the artwork. So even if I'm the Twig faction, I don't have to purchase a Twig card. I could purchase, say, a Droplet card and use them. But you might get bonuses if you stay more consistent with certain factions. So really nice artwork, very family friendly. If you're familiar with this company, it's the same style artwork as in all their other games. It's not chibi, but you know, anthropomorphic, right? That's when animals act like humans, I think. I might be saying the wrong thing. Ooh, I like that one. Rockbuck. He's cool. Mush. Mush and Herbert. I like those two guys. Forage Thumper looks cool. Shrub Beetle. I also imagine these guys to be like teeny tiny little things. Fighting in the grass or whatnot. So, all right, I'm not going to go through every single card in the game. Hopefully that was a good, gave you a good indication. What I just realized, though, is that these cards are going to be sleeved. It's a deck builder. There'll be lots of shuffling. And these little, these things right here, I might be able to peel it apart and re-stick it, because obviously sleeved cards are going to be a lot thicker. So, let us take a look at said sleeves. Before we do that, let's put this stuff back a little bit. See how nicely, if you're not a sleever, these work pretty well for keeping everything organized. There you go. You don't have to put it all the way in the middle either. That's good enough right there. All right, let's push that off to the side. These are the sleeves. They're not, there's only one option because, again, it's a deck builder. This is not a CCG or anything like that where you're going to have your unique deck versus someone else's unique deck. All the cards' backs need to look the same. So if we look back here, it's essentially exactly the same as the back of the cards. But I always like it when you can have something that's more than just A, clear, or B, keeps the card artwork. So this is interesting. This is very matte right here, but this appears like it's going to be pretty shiny. So let's pull out a card here and test it out. Don't know how I feel about the silver in the background, but it fits the theme of the front of the box. So there we go. It is not matte. This side is not matte, but this side is very matte. I do like the feel of them. They're not sticky or anything like that. They feel like they will shuffle up pretty nicely. So yeah, there we go. A+ on the sleeves, guys. Good job. Then we have some wooden tokens. So we're just going to give an example of some of these here. Again, they appear to be screen printed, but they are wooden. They're not plastic. Very lightweight, good size to them. They appear to be roughly the same size as the cardboard tokens, which is good because hopefully these are going to, if I can stack them up a little bit, fit into there, and yes, they do. So we can see that they fit into the back tray where they're supposed to. Last but not least, we have a playmat. Now, normally I love a good playmat. The disappointing thing that I found with the faction playmats was that they did not, they didn't have like the formation set up, you know, to keep, say, this is where you put your cards. And I think that's because depending on where you sit, one of you is going to have your formation on the left and the other one's going to have the formation on the right. So it makes sense that they couldn't do that. So I ended up just purchasing the market mat. Seems a little silly, but there we go. It's going to help me keep my market organized. Has some nice artwork on it. It's a little washed out in my opinion. Not stitched edging. Question is, I don't know if this is going to fit into the box or not. But yeah, there we go. Maybe down the road, if turns out I really like this game, we'll purchase the faction mats, similar to like Dice Throne, how you could have one single mat for each character you play. Don't know if that's necessary, but yeah, this is okay. I've certainly seen higher quality mats, you know, more vibrant color, and the edges are already starting to, you know, fray a little bit, but it's functional. I don't think it was super expensive. So that is going to do it for our unboxing of Command of Nature. This is a 2 to 4 player game. So this is not a solo game. I know we cover mostly solo games on the channel, but we will find a way to get this playing. I'll probably put out a how to play video just for people to have. I don't need another player to do that. And then at some point we will get a playthrough of this on the channel because this looks like a lot of fun. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. And like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.